couldn't. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. This is our kind of info session and meet and greet about our Algarve, Portugal trip happening in October of this year. My name is Rachel, and I'll be leading the yoga classes during the trip. And then we also have Matt Lawrence from Fit for Travel as our Fit for Travel representative to share with us about the itinerary, some information about the flights, the weather, and just all of that really fun stuff. So yeah, should we do quick intros, Matt, or should we get right into the info? What do you think?
Really what your preference is. I know
Good.
people might be eating and getting stuff,
Eating.
but up to you.
I know. I love to. Okay, let's do a little overview first, and then maybe we'll do a quick intro and then we'll do questions. That
Yeah,
way,
perfect.
as people come in, I see Natasha's joining, they won't miss kind of the intros and stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
Natasha. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for hosting this.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to just jump in here. Hello,
Uh-oh.
everybody. My name is Matt, account manager with Travel. So I work closely with Rachel, really helping a lot with the tourism and logistics aspects of a lot of these trips and retreats that we're putting on. Obviously, Rachel being fantastic at what she does with the yoga and the wellness classes that will be put in your itinerary every day. I'm going to basically be sharing my screen, walking through the website that we have built out with her that has the full itinerary, the overview, and then sort of towards the end, we'll do a little bit of a meet and greet and just ask any other questions that you might have. So as I'm going through, if you have questions, just write them down. I'll make sure I address them at the end. Um, and then no need to, but I will be just sharing the link to the website in this chat here. It's just the little chat kind of speech bubbles in the bottom left corner. You're more than welcome to kind of click in and keep that website there if you're interested. But I am going to go ahead and share my screen, and it will be on that exact website. And I'll be kind of just sharing the details of sort of the day-to-day, the overview of everything that's included, and then sort of kind of where we are in the process and everything. So without further ado, yes, you will be doing wellness and beaches in Algarve, and it is a area of Portugal right on the Mediterranean near the city of Lagos. So for this retreat, it's going to be happening in the kind of middle part of October. An absolutely stunning time to be in Portugal. Something really amazing happens kind of over the course of the summer. The water that is nearby heats up throughout the year and is actually at sort of its highest water temperatures during this part in October. So you can expect the air temperature, the weather to be around 55 in the lows, 75, 80s in the high, and the water temp can even be 60, 65 degrees. An amazing time to kind of be swimming out in the water area, either near the hotel or while you're out on your kind of sailing exhibitions as well. You'll notice there's some logistics up at the top. There's the price for the double occupancy, price for the single, and we are running an early bird discount just up and through the weekend, basically until February 1st, if you're able to put down a deposit. The deposit is just $500 to secure your spot. And then it will be a payment at 5 months before your departure, and then a final payment 3 months before, which will be in July. So if you are looking to kind of get that early bird discount, all that's due at booking is that $500. Where to really start with this amazing retreat that you guys are going to be on is kind of just focusing on Cascade Wellness Resorts. So you will be staying your entire time at Cascade Wellness. It is a stunning 4.5-star resort just located along the coastline. You get a great aerial view of it here where you'll be staying. And you'll see that there is obviously a pool area, another one. You'll have some sort of hiking and walking trails kind of behind the resort, and they head down actually to the beach where you're able to swim straight in the Mediterranean right there. You'll notice that you have these gorgeous cliff lines that you'll have sort of around. The pool area is amazing, and you'll have a lot of time to relax, have a full day at leisure during there. And there's even a little bit of a sort of beach area quite nearby. It really is a stunning resort to be staying at. And the nice thing is, there is not much changing of hotels or changing of pace. You'll be in one location the entire time. And then just in things that are included, you'll have breakfast each day. You'll have some included lunches, included dinners, as well as a daily yoga class. You'll be doing stand-up paddleboarding. I'll get into more of the activities as we move into the itinerary in more detail. You'll have a transportation from the airport, one way from the airport to the hotel, and then also from the hotel to the airport. as well as transportation throughout the program in an air-conditioned vehicle. But really, the main highlight I love to say with all the activities that you're going to be doing all of these amazing excursions with an English-speaking guide. So this guide's going to be multilingual. They're going to speak Portuguese, English, probably Spanish, French, and 6 other languages. But really, it is a local that wants to help connect you with the culture of Portugal, the culture of Lagos, of Algarve, so that you can really feel at home and really come back with an understanding of what it's like for the local people to live there. Um, and it is just a kind of really unique experience to be able to travel with a group of people and still have that connection to the locals while you're over there. The things that are not included are really just the international flights, early check-in, any meals not mentioned, personal expenses, and then travel insurance that I'll get into a little bit later, as well as any tips that you'll be wanting to leave for any of your porters or guides. And the last thing to note logistically is that all of your flights should arrive and depart into Faro International Airport. And I'll talk about this process a little bit later. We'll be getting into booking flights here in the next couple of weeks. But without kind of the next part or further ado, I'll just dive into the itinerary in a little bit more detail. So while you're on this website, right, you'll see the overview page is everything I went through. And then you have this itinerary tab here, which will give you really a day-by-day breakdown of kind of what you're looking at. So like I said, you're going to be starting this wellness retreat at Cascade Wellness. You'll be flying into Faro International Airport. You'll be collecting your bags, getting through customs, and then you'll have a guide or driver waiting for you in that vehicle that will be taking you directly to the hotel. It's about an hour and 15-minute ride from the airport down to where the hotel area is. You'll get checked in, settle into your room, and then you'll have a welcome dinner at the hotel with the rest of the group. Just getting settled, getting over that jet lag and just making sure everyone's feeling comfortable on that first night, taking it easy. And then for our second day, we're going to be doing a leisurely hike, a hike that's called Fisherman's Trail. This route starts in Praia de Luz, about a 15-20-minute drive from your hotel. You'll be going along the coastline where I think I showed you a photo. Maybe I can get back to it here, where a lot of Lagos and this sort of area is these sort of coastal cliffs. So you'll be doing a hike with amazing views of the Mediterranean around the sort of coastline. It's really a low to medium level hike. It's about 5 kilometers. You're just going to want closed-toed shoes as long as you're comfortable, walking at a leisurely pace. It's nothing that is super, up high elevation or anything like that. With your guide pointing out a lot of places that you'll be points of interest, viewpoints that are amazing. You'll enjoy this scenery as you kind of end up in the Burugao village. After your hike, we'll get you to a local restaurant, enjoying some local Portuguese food. All the food, I'd say, on this itinerary is really just amazing and quite enjoyable. And then you'll be doing the rest of your day back at the hotel at leisure. There'll be a pool, obviously, a beach nearby, really your own discretion, and Lagos very close to city center as well as the hotel, about a 10-minute drive into the city center from the hotel. On that third day, you're going to wake up overlooking the Mediterranean, have a nice rejuvenating yoga class with Rachel, really get into the flow of the day before having breakfast and then heading out. And really, this experience that we see with how it works on stand-up paddleboarding is a lot like walking on water. These are those clear types of water where you can really see down into the depths. You'll see fish swimming underneath you. You'll be having a chance to go on that stand-up paddleboarding. If for whatever reason you feel more comfortable either just going for a swim, hanging out at the beach, that's completely fine. And with any part of this itinerary, everything is always optional. If you were to want to opt out, hang back at the hotel. But this is an amazing kind of part of the coastline that you're exploring, either by paddleboarding or if you prefer just going swimming in the area. And there are some caves that are kind of quite nearby that you'll be able to see. And you'll have a relaxing day sort of out in the water exploring. Later that afternoon, after you've worked up an appetite, we'll take you to a local restaurant to have a meal, and then take you into the historic center of Lagos, where your guide will give you a little bit of a walking tour, giving you a lay of the land of the downtown, and getting you just to feel comfortable right with where Lagos is before we take you back to the hotel. Dinner is on your own. There's lots of restaurants nearby, and also multiple that are at the hotel at the resort themselves. So a nice, easy day just out on the water there before we built in a complete day at leisure. So you'll have a long yoga class in the morning, You'll have breakfast with the coffee overlooking that sort of Mediterranean view. You can relax by the pool, have read a book. There's a beautiful spa area should you want to get some massage. The beach is nearby. There's lots of walking trails. At this point, too, your guide has been with you for multiple days. Please lean on them for any sort of local knowledge. If you wanted any tips on what to do, maybe there's some museums that you haven't heard of and want to explore, but you have the whole day to yourself. The downtown of Lagos is also nearby should you want to explore. But really, for you, this is a day to relax, rejuvenate, and just sort of be on your own before we kind of get into the next part of the itinerary, which is going to be exploring Monchique Mountain. So Monchique Mountain is in the heartland of sort of Algarve at a high point. So again, starting your day off quite leisurely, having another yoga class, getting the body ready to go before you sort of have coffee, breakfast, and then board that transfer up into this sort of mountainous region where you're going to have in a stunning sort of views of the west and the south coast. As you're sort of driving along up into the mountains, there's a few stops that you'll make along the way, just with viewpoints there, and one of them being the Caldas de Monchique, which is sort of a thermal spa area that was actually utilized all the way back at the Roman times. This is kind of natural spas that you have. You'll have a chance to explore the area, kind of relax there for a little bit in the afternoon before you head up into the village where they kind of give you a little bit of walking tour of a traditional Portuguese town. There's still plenty of people that have been living there. Modern day people have moved there. There's families that date back many, many years that have been in Monchique. There's a little bit of a tour. They might have you do a little taste of Madrono, which is a local liqueur that they make from a arbutus tree there. And you'll have plenty of time to explore the town at your own leisure. There's pottery shops. There's lots of shopping in the area. A really unique town to be in. Before you have a group lunch all together at another local restaurant in the area. And then they'll take you back to the hotel evening and at leisure for your own discretion, getting dinner on your own should you want to go back into Lagos or just hang at the hotel. Very easy to do. And then day 6, one of my favorites myself, I love the water, and anytime I can get on a boat is always great. But again, waking up early and refreshed, having a nice yoga class to make sure everything, body's ready to go, mind's ready to go. Have a little bit of breakfast at the hotel, and then you'll head out for the Bay of Lagos for your sailing experience. So you'll be on a larger boat for the majority of this kind of excursion. You'll be out on the Mediterranean, but as you can sort of see in this picture here, those times where you'll be actually getting onto some smaller, more dinghies and going into these kind of cave areas that are very famous in the region, just showing you a little bit more of the exploration kind of in that area. And it's amazing. There's a chance to see wildlife like fish. Sometimes, if you're lucky, there may even be dolphins around. It is really just a gorgeous sort of day out on the water all together. And yes, you have an opportunity to go swimming should you want to get off the boat and take a dip. And you'll have lunch on the boat, all included while you're doing that. And as it gets closer to the mid-afternoon, you'll be heading back towards the mainland. They'll dock and then take you back to the hotel, let you shower, refresh, have a few hours at the hotel before you guys meet and do a group dinner all together, your final sort of group dinner of the trip at another local restaurant very close to the hotel. And then for your last full day, absolutely just an incredible experience for just how locals live. So Lule Market is a market that happens every Saturday near the hotel in Lagos. This is kind of why the dates are even structured the way they are for all of our Algarve trips. But it is a very local market where you will see people that are going to get their fresh fruit, their fresh vegetables, really shopping for the week. And you'll go through this sort of picturesque town with your guide. There'll be some fruit you probably don't recognize, a few things that you might have to ask questions about, but our guide will make sure that you have all the answers that you need. You can pick up sort of any final souvenirs that you might want. You'll do a little bit of pesticos, which are sort of small plates that you're able to taste, very similar to Spanish tapas if you have experienced those before, but you'll have a little bit of some tastings while you're together at the market. And then at the end of the trip, you'll be kind of, end of the tour of the market, just being taken back to the hotel, getting that last sort of evening just at leisure. And, if anything that you need to do, whether it's picking up some more shopping, going back into Lagos one more time, because on our day 8 is unfortunately the day we will be leaving from Algarve. You're going to be waking up, you'll have time for breakfast, and then you'll basically be getting on a transfer, taking you back over to Faro Airport, and then you'll be flying out from there. So all in all, this is an absolute incredible time. You're going to be having a yoga class pretty much every day, maybe twice if there's, this day at leisure or sometime that makes sense. And really, with all of our retreats, we try to build in, a lot of excursions and exploring. We want to make sure you have cultural experiences, but at the same time, coming back to the US, coming back to your home, feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, ready to keep going and kind of explore, other regions of the world, but at a leisurely pace that you'll be able to feel like you got a lot out of it, but you don't feel exhausted, coming back from a vacation. So the last thing I'll note just on a logistical level, and then we can do meet and greet and sort of any questions. But if you're interested in booking, notice it's something you're ready to go. It really is just this book now button at the top. When you click that, it'll show sort of the pricing. You'll notice the early bird that's still available, everything that's sort of listed here, and it'll give you a breakdown of sort of how the payment plans work. And then the absolute last thing I will note is you'll notice this number up here that says for reservations. This is absolutely for our customer support team more in general. So we have a customer support team designed to handle any and all questions you might have. Maybe it's questions about the resort, about the itinerary in more detail. You can email them, call them really anytime, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll be sharing this video recording in a follow-up email and also their contact information as well. And the absolute last thing to note is our customer support team will be starting our flight process here in the next couple of weeks, sending you out some arrival and departure recommendation times to kind of book your flights by. Should you have any questions about any of that, you can reply directly to the email. These are real people on the other end. They'll be happy to support you, or you can call us and we'd be happy to answer any questions over the phone. They also will be sending you some travel insurance quotes closer to the date. These are completely optional, but something that we highly, highly recommend. Travel insurance is a way that you can, insure your flights, insure the cost of the trip. There's a few different reasons that, there is for purchasing it. Should you have a flight that gets canceled last minute, it's easy to rebook and sort of file a claim and get some money back from that canceled flight. And then also, it could be if unfortunately COVID is still a thing, should there be some medical thing that happens and you need to get something, on the site, this is something travel insurance can help cover. Again, should you have questions, our customer support team is happy to answer any and all of those. And we also connect you directly with one of our partners should you want to purchase travel insurance through one of our partners, but there's lots of companies out there that do it. But the last thing I will note is I can say all I can about the itinerary. You guys obviously know Rachel and I know a lot of people at the studio. And I think one of the amazing things, I've been blessed to work in tourism, traveled to a lot of different places, but more than the place, right? It's always been the people that I remember. I've been to a place and, if I think about, I was just in Amsterdam for a wedding. Do I think about Amsterdam? Not really. I think about my friend who got married, all the people that I was with. So this is just an amazing time to form some, deeper connections, some friendships, some people you maybe didn't know. Maybe you'll be, you live a block away, fly across the world to meet, and then end up having that relationship keep going. So it's a spectacular time. I absolutely adore this itinerary. The time of year you guys all will be going will be fantastic. And now I will be quiet as you listen to me politely for the last 20, 30 minutes. So I appreciate it. I think, Rachel, we want to do some meet and greet. Do we want to do questions first? Anything that you think's best?
Yeah, let's do questions first, and then we won't put people on the spot, but it'd be lovely to just have you give your, we'll popcorn around and just give our name and maybe an intention for this trip or, something having to do with that. But let's see if people have questions first.
Yeah.
I'll share that last time the Fit for Travel folks suggested that we not actually book until about 6 months before the trip because some of the international fares didn't get released. And so you might actually end up paying more if you try to book like super, super early. So the sweet spot was around 6 months or so to book the trip. In case anyone had a question about that. Yeah. Or like thinking if like, should we book this minute? Definitely like not quite yet, but pretty soon. And then I always set up, you guys probably maybe do this too, Google flight alerts. I'll put in the dates, and then let it tell me when the fares have dropped, which can be really helpful.
Great
Last
call
time,
outs, yeah.
yeah, last time we also sent out suggested itineraries. So, if you're just planning to come for the 8 days of the trip, here's one. And then we had some folks on the last trip come early. So here's the suggested flights if you wanted to extend your trip. And we can definitely do that again for people too. Yeah.
I
Go ahead, Mary.
have two questions. So the first one is for the meals that aren't included, the dinner, is this walkable to other restaurants and stuff? It's hard to tell. Or do you eat there, or what do you do?
Yeah, great question. So for any of the included meals, we'll have a transfer take you to those restaurants. So you'll be meeting in the lobby, getting on a shuttle or some sort of maybe taxis or bus. That's all included in the price for the included meals. For anything that's not included, it's about a 8-10 minute taxi ride into the downtown of Lagos. So you could take a taxi. I would say let's just call it at maximum €20. It's probably going to be 10-15 for you to get down there. And there are multiple restaurants also at the resort itself. So for any of the included meals, the transportation's covered. We'll make sure you all get there in it as a group. And then for any meal on your own, you're welcome to eat at the resort, welcome to go into town. I will also note that a few months before your departure, we'll be sending out a packing list as well as bar and restaurant recommendations in the area, should you want to make any reservations or anything like that. And then 2 weeks before your departure, you're going to receive sort of a itemized hourly sort of itinerary with a few more details just about, when the classes are, things like that. Great question.
Okay. And then if, like, for me, I would like to go a little early to adjust to the time change. Can we ask you for recommendations of where to stay, or will the same room possibly be available at the resort, or should we just look on our own in the village, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, another great question. So with Fit for Travel, we're able to arrange a one-night pre-night should you want to stay in the same room for the night before. That's something that our customer support team is happy to arrange. It's at cost. We can get it'll be a private transfer from the airport as well as one night at the room. I will say if you're coming in a few days early, Lagos is great. You're welcome to stay at a different part and then come over to the hotel on its own. We've also had some travelers that wanted to explore Lisbon either before or after. There is a train that runs from Lisbon into Lagos. And then Lagos, there's about a 10-minute taxi ride from that train station to the hotel. I will say, though, this is done independently of Fit for Travel. So it would be, research on your own, or you could work with a travel agent. But we've definitely had some people fly into Lisbon, do 2 or 3 nights in Lisbon, and then take the train down the night the retreat starts and take a taxi. It's very easy to do, and you kind of just look up most of the stuff online, buy the tickets, and it's pretty straightforward. Awesome. Anything else from anybody?
Hi, this is Anissa. How long is the train ride?
That is a great question. It does depend a little bit on how many stops it's going to make. It's going to be anywhere from 3.5 to about 6 hours. The cheapest tickets are going to be that sort of 6-hour train where you're just basically hitting more stops, but you can't, and I'd have to double check, sort of the price and time of year, but it's usually, I think, around €30 and you're doing the kind of cheaper train, €45 and you're doing the sort of 3.5-4 hour train from Lisbon. Don't quote me on that exactly, but that does sound like what I remember people doing from
The express train.
Yeah.
So in that case, we would not meet with the group at the airport because that would be taking us out of the way. Got it.
Exactly. So yeah, you would just let our customer support team know you didn't need to be joining the group transfer. You'll be meeting at the hotel, but that you did maybe want to join the group transfer back to Faro. Just note, if you're doing that, you'd be flying into Lisbon and then out of Faro.
Oh,
again, if you book round trip through Lisbon, totally fine. You're just taking that train sort of on your own. And we do recommend maybe a 1-day buffer or at least an evening flight, knowing that the train can, there's a chance that the trains are delayed, things like that. When you're coming with the group transfer, we guarantee that you'll be there, by the time that we recommend for those earlier flights and things like that.
On the way back, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, for the
Not
way
gonna-
back.
He's
Exactly.
basically saying if you're not going to take our transportation, give yourself enough time because it might be late. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was in Italy. They had a train strike one time. Didn't
Oh,
advertise it. Didn't tell anybody. I got a taxi. We figured it out. But when you're working with us directly, it's we're able to control the shuttle times and when they're getting there. No strikes on our end.
If you don't end up taking the shuttle, do you just pay for it anyway, or you get a reimbursement for that amount?
So yeah, it is an included cost. There's no sort of reimbursement that is able to be issued, but it is just whether if you're able to join it, totally fine to opt in. But if you're doing your own thing, that's totally fine. It's just not a reimbursed fee or anything like that. Good question.
I have a quick question. So if I wanted to go to Lisbon on the back end of the trip, would I be able to take the shuttle to the train station, or is it only to the Faro airport?
Yeah, the shuttle is only to the Faro airport. The train station itself, 10 minutes from the hotel. The hotel can arrange a taxi for you very easily should you need that.
Okay.
Love all these colors they have in all their villages too. You guys are going to see some pretty spectacular little towns, and yeah, it's great. You have some water activities. You have towns you're visiting. You'll have some restaurant views and everything, and it's nice to always start your day with a little bit of yoga as well.
and the guide we had from Fit for Travel was so amazing last time. Juan, we still talk about him. So knowledgeable, just so sweet, perfect English, perfect Spanish. He spoke Quechua. He told us about all the local traditions and customs. So it was really, I think sometimes your experience can be colored if you have a good or not guide, right? It can kind of change your experience. And he was just like so wonderful, above and beyond. Carol was there. Valerie was there. They know.
Yeah, all of our guides, I don't know how familiar people are, but in a lot of other parts of the world, it's a multi-year course. Like they're going to university for this. They're learning many things that they have, the language skills, the history background. So they're all, trained and certified. And, they really do want you all to connect with their culture. So it is just phenomenal to have a local really showing you around their homeland. So I'm excited that Peru is great. And then you're going to get some Portuguese insight as well.
So maybe we can stop the share and just do a quick round of intros. And if more questions come up, of course, we can address them, but just, being respectful of people's time. Cool. I would love, since we're still kind of, you guys know I love sharing intentions. And so since it's still the beginning of the year, right? We're on the 29th of January, and today is actually the first day of the Chinese New Year. And it's the first day of the year of the snake, which is my year. So I have been really excited all day. I've been telling everybody that it's the first day of year of the snake. So I'd love us to maybe share our name and perhaps an intention you have for this upcoming Chinese New Year, or if an intention you have for the trip, if that's something that you kind of have at the top of your mind. And I'm happy to go first. And also another one of our trip participants, Angel, is here. My husband's going to be coming with us this time.
Blurred out in the
Let me see if I
It's
can
okay.
stop the blur. There we go. There he is. I turned off the blur.
Hey, James.
There's James. Nice. So I will share that my name is Rachel and I'm very excited about this trip. My intention for this year and also for this trip is to just have some new experiences, and really, I haven't been to Europe in 20 plus years. I'm so, so, so excited. It's changed, of course, so much since I've been there. And I just really want to have new experiences, soak up this new experience of this trip with all of you. So thank you for either booking or being interested in it. And I'm going to popcorn it to Natasha with her beautiful octopus behind her.
My name's Natasha. I am interested in this trip because I am just hoping to feel grounded. I've been really kind of just craving more clarity in my life, so I'm just hoping an opportunity to kind of get away, just kind of do my own thing and, just relax will kind of provide that.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I hope that these trips are all about like feeling held by the yoga teacher, by the group leader, by the guide and just like letting your brain kind of shut off and just letting yourself experience, because you don't have to worry about the transportation and the this and the that. You know, it's just really nice to immerse yourself. So people tend to have breakthroughs on these trips because they're not just like the day-to-day of life, right? So thank you for sharing. Do you want to maybe popcorn it to someone else? I know you might not know people, but we can just put them on the spot.
Yeah, no, truly. I will popcorn to Valerie.
Okay, am I unmuted? I'm unmuted. Okay, hi, I'm Valerie. I love yoga retreats. I have been on many yoga retreats and I love, love, love yoga retreats. And the last one was super fantastic with Fit for Travel. I love that they have all these activities and plus it's by the water. So this is going to be really good for me. I love being in the water and swimming in the ocean and paddle boarding and all of the above and hiking, everything, and yoga. So I'm super looking forward to it. And I'll popcorn it over to Lisa, who's also going. We're already signed up. We're definitely a go. So I hope to see you all there.
Thank you. Are you guys in the same house but on different devices right now?
Lisa's in Houston right now for
Oh,
a
okay.
work thing. So no, we're not.
Thanks. Lisa, you're on mute. She's on her phone. I hate Zoom on the phone. It's so hard to figure it out. I think if you swipe it to the left, it'll bring up the mute controls. No, it's hard on the phone. We can,
13 Pro.
that's okay. We can go back to, let's go back to her. Let's go to Carol.
Hi everyone, my name is Carol. I, like Valerie, had a bomb time last year, so I'm happy to be coming again. I consider the retreats to be my vacation, so I'm looking forward to resetting, doing amazing things, adventure, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. I really want to go to the Rock of Gibraltar, so if anybody wants to do it, let me know. Thank you. And I will popcorn to Mary.
Okay, hi, I'm Mary, obviously. After looking at those pictures, I mean, why wouldn't you go? I mean, so I love to travel and I'm in a position of retirement where I can travel. And I went to Portugal last year, actually, to the other coast, and it was so wonderful and beautiful. And I'm excited about the yoga retreat. And I've only been in this community for a short time, but I've been amazed at, with Rachel and with all of the people, how just what a good community it is. And I think in this time of change, my sort of my goal for this year is try to accept change in whatever way I can and maintain my own inner peace and make bridges with other people. And I think, we're probably all of like minds, but this kind of a trip, I think, helps with, with peace, inner peace in a time of turbulence. So that's, oh,
Yeah,
I got a
it's a
popcorn to
reset.
somebody and I
Yeah.
just lost the visual. So somebody's got to pick someone else.
I'll pick someone. Let's
okay.
pop it to James. Thank you, Mary.
All right, I'm James. Yep, I met Rachel. Gonna embarrass you. 2006 at a Z Trip DJ show at Club 6 in San Francisco when she was out with her girlfriend. But anyway, been to Portugal a couple times and have been on one of Rachel's retreats. And when I saw the message come out that you can combine both of those things, what the pictures show, just like you said, Mary, tells a story. So I immediately said, gotta go. We'll figure out the rest later. Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's such a beautiful country. And there is this kind of getting into the history that I started to do on my previous trip there with the important major role that Portugal played in the slave trade, um, biggest importer. And I
Wow.
always wanted to go down to Lagos, which was, the other big drop-off point, after having done a little bit of study on that in Lisbon and Seychelles. So yeah, something about being there, and walking that ground.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, thank you. So we can popcorn it to Matt B, and then
Hi.
yeah.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having this call, Rachel. This is I'm putting the retreat on. It looks wonderful. Like everyone else, I love yoga retreats are fantastic. Haven't been on one in a bit, so I need to get away, and I'm just looking forward to putting this on my schedule and having something to look forward to, and something fun to look forward to. And the itinerary really looked perfect. So for me, for that, it had a lot of balance between relaxation and culture. And Portugal has always been a place for me that I've wanted to explore. I've never been to Portugal, and I have a memory from when I was a boy that my childhood buddy came. My childhood buddy's family was like we were all like kind of like family friends, and they went on this trip to Portugal. And when they came home, they were so happy. And I remember how happy they were when they came home from their vacation to Portugal when I was in grade school. And they raved about how much fun they had. And ever since then, whenever someone brought up Portugal and their trip to Portugal, they always told me that they had a great time, and they always told me that I had to go. And so I've always had to go, and I've never been. So I had a great time touring Italy and Austria 2 years ago. So it'd be really nice to get back out to Europe and explore Portugal. I also recently saw the National Geographic has a good video about the parks, the wildlife in Portugal, and it has some interesting wild wolves. And I remember really liking the one on Portugal is really good.
That's awesome.
So yeah, really excited.
I love that story. And yes, you're overdue, Matt. It's been a few years. Matt's
Yeah.
a lot of Mexico trips with Left Coast, and so has Carol. And yeah, it's gonna be fun to get the party back together. We also have a good friend who's expecting to be living in Portugal at that point, Amy, and she's working through her visa requirements right now and expecting to go in the spring or summer. So she'll be in Lisbon. So I know some of us at least will want to pop to Lisbon and see her, and maybe she'll join us. So Lisa, we'll let you off the hook. That's okay. I got you, girl. I got you. I'm gonna do it for her. My name's Lisa, and she just took a new role in her job where she doesn't have to work 90 million hours a week. So this is her intention for the year of the snake, is to lower her workload and raise more joy in her life, spend more time with her baby, spend more time with her yoga community. And she's super excited to join us on this trip. Did I cover it? Was that pretty good? Okay. Rachel's version of the unmuted intention. Great. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up. Unless anyone has any more questions, we will be in touch over email about all the things that you mentioned, adding on, maybe we'll have a group that stays later together or goes early together, figuring that out. Oh, Anissa, we didn't get you. We lost you.
Hi.
Go ahead.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. We
I'm
lost
driving.
your I lost your
Oh,
video, so I didn't know.
that's
Yeah.
I've been on. I'm driving with children,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's part of the reason. But yeah, I think I saw this pop up, and I was in Portugal, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that. But really didn't spend a lot of time at the coast, and I've had so many friends and good friends who've moved to Portugal. I just thought, this would be a great way to kind of spend time and maybe spend my vacation hours, and kind of get back into yoga. I actually did a yoga teacher training, 200 hours,
Congratulations.
since I was in Mexico.
Nice.
And I hate to say it, but injured wrists doing too many sun
Sun
salutations.
salutations. Okay, we'll ease
But
up on the sun salutations for this.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to be kind of healed and just ready to jump back in. But yeah, I'm really excited, and
Beautiful.
this is around my birthday as well, so
Nice.
another celebration of a year around the sun.
Nice. Thank you. And maybe we'll get your sister to come too, huh?
My turn.
Yes.
All right, Angel wants to do his intention.
Hi there. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a
sunshine
glare.
on the
Sorry.
thing there. Hi, everybody. I'm actually really excited to just go out there with the family and the kids.
Luna and Beat are coming, y'all.
And
They're gonna be big at that time too. They're
yeah.
gonna be like fully
so
grown.
it'll be their first European or Portugal vacation. And also I'm really curious. I really want to hook up with a lot of my friends, the expats that have moved out there. You know, Portugal is seems to be like a popular place for people to head to in
now that
start
Trump's
living
back.
there.
Now that Trump's back in the White House.
I just want to see kind of what it is. It's been forever since I've been to Europe, so I'm just excited about that. Yeah.
Cool.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. Well, playing with the lighting. Does anyone else have any logistical questions or want to say anything? Carol's raising her hand. No, you're saying you're good. Okay. Yeah, Valerie.
Oh, you're muted.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so we're definitely interested in spending a little more time, maybe maybe a couple more days. So just putting that out there, maybe Lisbon or what, I don't know, whatever. I'm open, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was thinking. So
last time we talked about that, and then we realized that it was like, well, we wanted to acclimate to the altitude, so we came beforehand. And I think also the flights were a little cheaper. So we could always start a little email thread about like, oh, you know, it's cheaper if we want to stay after, or these dates seem to make more sense with this. And then if anyone's interested, we did an Airbnb last time and it was super fun. So we could always go in on that. It was casual and fun and easy. So we can talk about that too.
yeah, so I just want to put that out there that we're interested in doing staying a little longer.
Whoops, sorry.
Go ahead, Mary. No, you're good.
I think Carol said something about the Rock of Gibraltar. For some interesting reason, I've always wanted to go there. It's like one of those kid things that Matt brought up, I think, when I read about it in school. So I'm definitely interested, and I'm probably going to go a little early to acclimate and stay on. I might go to Spain and France. So yeah, I'm going to stay for a while. So that's my plan. So yeah, I'd love to go to the Rock of Gibraltar.
Awesome. Let's talk. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
I'm also interested in the Rock of Gibraltar as well. This is Anissa. So yeah, I maybe coordinating a little bit in Spain. I actually bought a place in Spain. So in an ideal world, I'd be coming from there, but it doesn't look like that may happen this year.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Anissa with all of her real estate holdings. I love it. You're going international now, girl. You go.
I was worried about the election.
There you go. Right. All right. Well, yeah, we will get all that going. And, you know, if you're thinking about the trip, like we said, we'll keep that early bird code through the weekend. So you just have to put that deposit down. And then, yeah, let people know. I'm going to send everyone this recording if you want to pop it over to people that are interested. I think we have a lot of good information over the last 45 minutes. You can just send that to them and let me know. Anything else? Oh, yeah.
I just wonder, what's the limit number of people?
The Shala can hold up to 25, he said.
Okay.
And we currently have 10. So
Okay.
we'll probably be like in the teens, I would imagine, somewhere around there, 15-ish.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Matt, for sharing with us, and have a beautiful night.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for joining.
Everyone.